Hey everybody, I'm Tom Vassell and welcome to 10,000 and Below. This is where I take a look at games that are ranked really low on Board Game Geek, a huge database about board games. And, you know, we talk about some of them. Not all of them, but we take a look at many of them. Some of them I played. Some of them I'm just looking at the names and thinking they sound interesting. And some of them a lot of people have ranked, so I think we should take a look and see what's going on with them. So let's get started today. We're at 13,501. Really low ranked games here at this point. So we always take a look at the first one and last one. So here we have Deal Gentlemen Collectionneurs. Sounds very very austere, you know. This came out in 2014. You're millionaires who collect mysterious artifacts. When you collect them in threes, they have amazing powers. That sounds like theme forced into a mechanism. So you're making a deal. Negotiations. So there's three cards, two face up, one face down. You divide the cards. They must go somewhere. But what if you don't make a deal? Huh. That's interesting. You get the face down card or the face up one. I don't know. The concept doesn't sound too bad. All right. Kabuki. I reviewed this one 5 years ago. And Amber Root I reviewed 6 years ago. So Kabuki is from Yellow's small series of games. And you have to, this is like a memory style game, but the masks look a little different. I mean, look a little similar, at least I found. You're flipping over and have to remember if that same disc is in the pile. So it's a memory style game. It's okay. Amber Root's a game I wanted to like more than I did. It's fine. It has a neat theme. You're moving down this long, well, Amber Root and stopping on different areas. Has some really cool artwork. I think that, well, cool, it's kind of funky artwork. There's a little bit of luck, more luck than I like in it. It has some neat pieces. It's more intriguing, I think, than the game is fun, but it might be worth checking out. Bobbity Boom. All right, let's keep going down. Risco Masker, Tracks. I want to look at that game. Tracks. And this game called Trapture. And then Geronimo has 230 rankings. We'll have to take a look at that one. And 404, Law Not Found, has 106 rankings. All right, so here we go. Tracks. It's Rummikub and Quirkle put together. And you draw a face-up tile. I don't like that there's these special action tiles in this game, but 11, 10, 9, 8, 9, 9, 9, 9, 9, 9, 9, 9, different colors. So it looks like Quirkle, but there's sequential also, so matching colors, same number, and sequential. Although, do they have to be sequential in the same color? Maybe. Maybe if they're in the same color, they have to be sequential. But then it looks like there's like draw 3. That would kind of break the game for me. Trapture. It's a 2-player strategy game. You're putting squiggle pieces trying to capture this piece. I feel like I just saw this somewhere. I like the concept of it. I wonder why it's ranked so low. Let's see what the ratings say. The box. I usually like an area enclosure game, so this one fell flat for me. A more finicky version of Blocus. Well, no one's giving it a really good rating here. All right. Geronimo, 1995. This is from Richard Berg, the late great war game designer from Avalon Hill. This is one of the last ones they did. Wow, there's really a lot going on and there's a lot of pieces here. That's a kind of a cool looking map of the western U.S. I like the way it looks, but I got to be honest, I probably would not want to play it because Mr. Berg's games I found to be just overly unwieldy and complex for me. I know a lot of people like them, but I do like the theme. It sounds interesting. 404, Law Not Found, a competitive action programming game with hidden objectives. This came a web-published game originally, and then 3D Total Games. Yeah, maybe it's a cool game, but I have to say I would hope that it gets a nicer production. The production doesn't look that great at this point. All right, let's continue on down. people person. Elric, 1977. That has 255 rankings. Portable Adventures, Lair of the Rat King, which I thought was fine, and Gaudy, which I did not think was fine at all. And then 6 Nimpt Jr. Alrighty, Elric. It's based, if I said Eldrick, I'm sorry, Elric. Based on the Michael Moorcock Elric series, which I've not read, but looks to be Conan inspired for sure. Yeah, this just looks like one of those old adventure-style games. Who's the publisher? Oh, Avalon Hill again. There's a lot of these old Avalon Hill games that are down here. Alternate names, Elric Battle at the End of Time. I think I like that name better. Let's take a look at the map here. The Oldest Ocean. The Eastern Ocean. Soiling Sea. Or is that Boiling Sea? Oh, boiling. Soiling Sea would be a very different thing, I think. Portable Adventures. Yeah. So this came out in 2003 from Third World Games. You got to get 7 adventure points. You can combine with other portable adventures. I remember this. This is very Take Daddy. This is a game that hasn't aged well. When it came out, I was like, yeah, it's okay. Probably today I wouldn't be as impressed. But I miss Third World Games sometimes. They were a company that made a very specific type of game. Gaudy. You are placing these down. This came out in 2002. You're placing tiles down and trying to control things. I do not remember this game at all, unfortunately. I sort of remember the pieces. I don't remember how the game plays. But I do see that I did not like it at all. So is my review a written review? It is a written review. Well, let's see what I said. It's a nice looking game in a nice box, but the gameplay is boring and too difficult at times to be enjoyable. I can't recommend it to anyone except perhaps a devoted fan of Antoni Gaudy's work. There you go. Taken from, but then Greg Schlosser says I've had the opposite experience. So he liked it a lot. So who knows? 6 Nimpt Jr. uses, it looks like animals. No, it still has numbers, but it looks like animal cards in a row. 6 Nimpt is a pretty fun card game. I wouldn't mind getting a copy of this junior one to play with my kids. Although, I think kids can handle regular 6 Nimpts too, so it's not that big of a deal. Moby Dick, or The Card Game. That's a weird subtitle. Freeloader. I like some of the names of these games. Looking down here, Cold Days in Hell. That must be a war game. We'll take a look at it though. Tricky and Character Claw. Vikings, the board game based on a TV show, and Horsefair card game. All right, here we go. Moby Dick, or The Card Game. Let's see here. It's a game for 2 to 4 players with additional rules for solitaire play. It's based on the classic novel. I get it. But why is it called The Card Game? The sea, the sailor, and the whale. You take turns. You draw sea cards. That's kind of interesting artwork. Does it come with a harpoon? Probably not. Well, this person has 4 harpoons in a case. It's weird. The box would not lead me to believe that it would look that nice. Got barrels. It looks like this person painted. Looks like some people put a lot of effort into the game. All players pass a random sailor to their left. Well, that sounds a little Take Thatty. I like the look of this one. I wonder why. I'm very curious. It has a lot of ratings. So why is it ranked so low? Beautifully made. It's pretty random. Shallow gameplay. Game's okay, not a lot of decisions. Makes sense that a game is only as good as its book is, which is to say they're both rubbish. Well, I'll allow you to take that. Freeloader, another one of James Ernest games where you need to provide stuff. And James Ernest games are all over the place. Sometimes they're really fantastic, sometimes they're not. This one looks like you are trying to send freeloaders to your neighbors' houses. Okay. I like the art. The theme sounds fun, but yeah, it's not ranked very highly. Cold Days in Hell is a war game like I thought. It's part 3 of the Empires of the Apocalypse. There's a I mean, it's interesting how many war games there are where there's like part 1, part 2, part 3, etc. This is from World War II. Those are not bad looking counters, though. Okay. Tricky. I like the way the box looks there. Leo Calavini. Ooh. Mr. Calavini is not one of my favorite designers, but this one looks like it actually comes with a dice tower. I remember seeing this in Germany. I remember wanting it because it's a dice tower in a box with chips. Looks like you're rolling dice. It looks almost like a can't stop variant. Let's see. I didn't actually read what the description was. Push your luck. You start with 18 to 25 chips. You roll 5 dice. Set aside at least 1 die. Re-roll. You get rid of 6s. Then for each other value, put 1 or 2 chips on the game board. If you complete a column, you claim all the chips in this column, and everyone else. Yeah, okay. It sounds like a really, really light game. I might give it a whirl if I came across it. Carrot and Claw. I don't remember what the English name of this one is. It might say it on the box. Carrot pinching. Yeah, you got some carrots here. This is a very light little kids game, pulling carrots out of the box. Haba always has these really cool, unique ideas for kids. Vikings, the board game, is a game that I played. I'm not sure I ever actually reviewed it. I did a preview of it, but I didn't actually review it. I'm also not sure. I may have only played it once, but it was you collected Vikings and stuff, and you sent them out, and I felt like there were too many rules in the game that it just felt too complicated for how light it was. Seems to be a thing I have a problem with. Horse fair card game. You vote on which horses you want to win at the fair. You lay cards face up. Nah. I don't remember a ton about this game. That had nice pictures of horses, but the game itself was just meh. All right, let's continue down. Captain Future. Well, let's take a look at that. It came in 1980, so 40 years ago. Let's see what Captain Future, what year it's set in. I wonder if it's set in now. Going through here, a lot of different games. Grand Dog Park, we'll take a look at that. Super Vampire, that's ranked really low for, that game is good. And oh, Super Mario Uno, come on now. All right, Captain Future from Wolfgang Kramer, 40 years ago. It's still weird to me, you think about this. Wolfgang Kramer had a game published 40 years ago, and he still has games published now, and people are like, woo, that is a long, illustrious career. Space cards, spaceships, secret zones, rules. Origo seems to be a reworking of this game. Let's take a look at it. Yeah, it's very abstract looking. Captain Future. And back when this came out, space games were very rare in Germany. Origo came out in 2007, where they rethemed it to an even more boring theme. It still looks fairly abstract. Grand Dog Park. This is from, man, I feel like I've seen this game. Did someone on Dice Tower review it? No? Take your dogs to the park. Oh, the artwork's super cute. Super Vampire. This one's a pretty neat game. You are moving these vampires along this grid here. It's above the thing. So you're using, you're trying to move them along and collect different things. You're using this I believe it's a stick to move them along. I don't remember exactly how you move them, but you don't want them to fall. Yeah, you move that, it's this finger piece. And you're pushing them along, and you don't want them to fall off. So it's like a dexterity style game, and you're trying to avoid garlic and things like that. It's really fun for kids, and I'm surprised that it hasn't got as much love. It's a neat little game. Not actually so little, it's pretty big actually. Uno Super Mario. It's Uno, and also there's a star card that makes your character invincible. You can use a star card to bounce it back to that player. If you like Uno, that sounds like a nice variant. Like, hey, you played a draw 4? I don't think so. All right, Legends of Robin Hood from 1991. Taco Judo. I played that one only a few years ago, actually. Maybe I re-ranked it back then, I'm not sure. The Trivial Pursuit Team and Search for Gnomes. Well, let's take a look at OverUnder too. All right, Legends of Robin Hood. There's another one from Avalon Hill back in the day. looks like a war game. Doesn't that, like, if you didn't see Robin Hood on the side there, would you not think maybe like squad leader or something like that? That's interesting. Maybe it is a war game. Yeah. I mean, it's the kind of game that back then I would have probably had a lot of fun trying to figure out how to play it. And now I look at it and go, that's a cool game that I would have had fun playing back then. Taco Judo, this is from Blue Panther. Yeah, Octopus Wrestling. Now, Blue Panther does a lot of cool things. They make the dice towers, our wooden dice towers for us, and I have a lot of respect for them. They're fantastic. This game was an abstract strategy game that just didn't really work for me. I think you can play it online. Trivial Pursuit Team. Isn't Trivial Pursuit, can it be teams anyway? I mean, meh, whatever. All right, Search for Gnomes. I gave this one a 6. And we turn over different gnomes with different color hats. And you are trying to remember as many gnomes as possible. And we shuffle them, we turn them up, we look at them, and then we turn the forest tiles face down. And then we have to, can we complete the mission tiles? Oh, okay. I remember this one. But it's really, really dependent on memory. So I thought it okay. OverUnder, this is a weird one because Z Garcia likes this one a lot. I am not a big fan of it because you're going up against everybody else, guessing if you're over or under type thing. And I felt like the rules of the game are actually backwards for me. Basically, the group has to come together to collectively make an answer, and then a person guesses whether it's over or under, the group's collective answer. It just seems to me like it'd be better if one person picked an answer and everyone else then picked whether that person was over or under. Just felt weird. I didn't like that combo. Alrighty, let's continue on here. Moving down, Jupiter, Pieces of 8, Chief Cuckoo, Mad Love. I gotta look at that one. Pieces of 8. Oh, okay. I never actually did play this one. I remember this one. It's a game that's just a stack of metal coins in your hand. And the coins you choose in the order you play them. There was a big deal made about this one, and I never got a copy of it, never played it. I remember hearing about it and just didn't put a lot of effort into learning more about the game. This is one of those games that if it crossed my desk at some point, I might look at it as a lark, but I just think it's neat that they're metal coins. Chief Cuckoo, this is from Blue Orange Games. There's a bunch of ingredients here. And you're going to create a special dish, and then everyone gives one to the tastiest or most disgusting dish. It's silly fun for kids, especially when you play making the most disgusting dish, because there's a lot of really gross combinations you can come up with. Mad Love. Impulse LLC. You and your intrepid partner entered the Lost Pyramid only to be immediately trapped in an endless, Lovecraftian dreamscape full of maddening visions of terror. It's a cooperative game of memory deduction for 2 people with only 18 cards. I like the art. I like the idea. It's ranked low. Let's actually take a look at the ratings for this one. There's only a few people have ever played it. Pretty good little filler game. Abstract action micro game. Very little feedback on this one. I just like the name of it. Fantasy Baseball, Exalted Legacy of the Unconquered Sun, and Letter Flip. All right, Fantasy Baseball. This one's from Darryl Anders and J.R. Honeycutt from CSE Games. I feel pretty confident Sam reviewed this one back in the day. Yep, there it is. He reviewed this one. He said he liked it. I meant to play it, and it just, when Sam played it, I just never got around to it. I like the idea. I'm a big fan of baseball games. I know that they also made fantasy football. This is ranked pretty low, though, for a baseball game. Let's take a look at some of the comments. Not really about baseball. Yeah, okay. So it's not really unique game. You don't play the game, just compare stats. Well, not a lot of positive things. Well, Sam liked it, I think. Exalted Legacy of the Unconquered Sun is from White Wolf Entertainment. This came out in 2008. This is a pretty big style game here. Like a adventure style game. Woo! There's a lot of information on those cards. The art looks kind of cool. as miniatures that are obviously painted. I guess that's what they look like, unpainted or purple. Is that like your shadow form? Maybe those are painted too. You were so exalted, you go for... Sounds like it's a fantasy sci-fi game? Meh. Let's take a look at that box cover. It's a very action-packed box cover. Everyone's fighting everybody. Letter flip. This one here from Out of the Box Publishing. Head-to-head. You're looking for letters that make up your secret word. Oh, it's like a deduction back and forth game. And I remember playing this. It's interesting, but I found it to be easy and fairly light. But it was okay. All right. Dice and Dragons. Jackal. Sung by C.J. Craig. Ring-a-ding-ding. And then, oh, Baby Blues. I want to take a look at that one real quick. And then Brainwaves, The Astute Goose. Not only is that the last one on this list, but that's one I've actually played. All right, let's take a look at Dice and Dragons. This is from Golden Egg Games. Okay, so that's Golden Egg Games has a lot of fairly negative comments on them. And I remember taking a look at this one and thinking, wow, this looks really boring. It might be a good game, but they made it look as boring as possible. The Jackal. This is from Magellan Publishers. Your pirates landing on Treasure Island, and you're going to move your pirate and look for treasure. Little metal pirates. Oh, they're cute little metal pirates. These are really, really small pictures. Wow, that's like a deluxe version, though. Is that like every version? Is there like a normal version? Yep, with pawns. Okay, that makes more sense. Yeah. I don't know that I like tiles like this where like when you flip them over, if they don't match and look good, like you have a monster next to stuff, that bugs me just a little bit. Ring-a-ding-ding, ding-a-ling-a-ling. Speed packet. Haven't I played this one? I played, I guess, another version of this game where you put rings on your fingers as fast as you can, and you're trying to match cards, and it shows you what you put on your hand. I like that for kids. Baby Blues. You're working in a baby daycare center here. This is simply just a take that game. That's weird. Fans also like Geist. Well, we'll talk about Geist when we get to that in the 16,000s. You want to keep your babies happy? Yeah, this is definitely a take that style game. Some people like it. I remember it was on the BGG hot list at Essen one year, and I still am. How can it be on the hot list and then yet be down here? This re-implemented Baby Blues. Baby Blues was the one on the hot list here. Yeah, here it is. I gave this one a ranking of 2. This one is rated 16,000. Yeah, it's even lower rated. I still don't get that one. Brainwaves is part of a 3-game series in which they're all memory-style games, and they are they use scientific reasoning in here. Hey, this helps you get smarter, so on and so forth. The Astute Goose one here, you need to figure out what someone looked like, and you will roll cards, and you need to remember what's the characteristic of the person on that card. So it's a memory game with a twist. I don't know why I haven't ranked it. I want to say I give this one a 6. It's good for kids. I thought it was fine. That's the Brainwaves, The Astute Goose. And that's it. We made it to the end of another one of these. Thank you so much for watching 10,000 and below. I'll see you all next week. Until then, I'm Tom Vassell. If there's games here you think I should talk about, mention them in the comments. We'll see y'all later.